A family man kills an intruder in a moment of self-defense. However, the father of the dead man comes back for payback.
Your boy, he looks a whole lot like you, doesn't he?
But when all is not what it seems, the two men join forces to uncover the truth in Cold in July.
Hi, I'm Aaron, and I'm here with Leah and Brenna, and today we're going to talk about Cold in July, starring Michael C. Hall, Sam Shepard, and Don Johnson. We've all just seen it. Leah, what'd you think?
When I saw the trailers for Cold in July, I was really jazzed about seeing this movie because it was dark and brooding and it looked like it was going to be really intriguing. And I was happy to see Michael C. Hall go from the small screen to the big screen. I thought this was right up my alley. I love these kinds of stories. Fast forward to actually seeing the movie, and I'm just thinking, wow, what a disappointment. It was a little too thematically vague for me. I really couldn't tell what the filmmaker's point was. It had something to do with masculinity and violence and redemption and not living in regret.
It kind of felt like the story does change a lot, the film changes a lot, the tone shifts a lot. It's a very postmodern, mishmashy film.
Yeah, that's a problem, though.
No, I mean, it is and it isn't. I enjoy all of these little elements, and I think that the characters are interesting. They just aren't delved into enough where you can really be like, yeah, I understand exactly what he's thinking all the time.
You said the problem initially, which is you had to speculate as to what causes these characters to change. We see no character development for any of them. He starts off as this timid frame store guy. He accidentally shoots somebody. He's jumpy. He's really upset by it. And at the end of the movie, he's dual wielding a pistol and double shotgun.
A sawed-off double-barrel shotgun.
Double-barrel
It's
shotgun.
awesome.
And there's no reason for him to have changed this way.
There should
be a reason.
There
You're
should be a
right.
reason.
But
I mean,
there doesn't
you
always
can
have
do
to
this.
be.
Well, it's then you have this problem.
When you have a character who is so different in the beginning, you need to show why he changed.
Or how. Or like what motivates that.
There's no reason for him to go out with the guns. There's no reason to hang out with these guys in the first place.
They set it up. They set it up, right? They create this context and this circumstance, but then once he realizes that
it didn't all transpire the way you thought.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I'm out. Peace.
Yeah. Right, well, I thought that for a second, too, and then I had the same, like, why is he still sticking around?
And they don't ever answer that.
No, they don't ever explicitly answer it, but it still was entertaining, and I still enjoyed
Really?
it.
Oh,
yeah, and
really?
when Don Johnson's character of Jim Bob shows up, that's when the film gets really entertaining. I mean, that's when the biggest tone shift happens.
Yes, it is.
And it becomes more of, like, a weird comedy kind of thing.
It becomes a three-guy buddy picture.
He wants my son. I know it. I want protection.
That's not gonna happen, not without a legal reason. I tell you what I do, Rich. Unofficially, I have a car stop by your house every couple hours over the next few days. Give you a little peace of mind. He's probably just trying to scare you. Don't let him.
I mean, really, the best part of this film is the performances from all three of these men. Michael C. Hall, Sam Shepard, and Don Johnson.
Michael C. Hall was rigid. He still has his Dexter
I don't
mindset
know.
on.
I disagree.
I think Sam Shepard was very good. I think he was the best in the film, but that's not really saying much with what he had to go off of.
I feel as though all of the performances were serviceable, right, between Michael C. Hall, Don Johnson, and Sam Shepard. However, I don't think that any of them were particularly remarkable or stand out. No. I mean, Sam Shepard is at a stage in his life where all he has to do is just show up with crags in his face, and he looks brooding and menacing and scary.
He's a character actor. You know, he's playing. I mean, he's kind of playing himself. But
then it's almost stunt casting. It's like, how much work does he really have to put into it? And then when you hold that in relief of Don Johnson and Michael C. Hall, of course he kind of, floats towards the front.
Get back in the car.
What?
The lock's busted.
Oh my God.
Go to the Fergusons and call the police, ask for Price.
What are you doing? Aren't you coming with us? Richard, get in the car.
Get now.
Come with us.
I said go.
Richard, don't be stupid.
Go, Anne.
The writing and the direction work together to make the tone in this film extremely inconsistent. It starts off as like a home invasion suspense thriller, and then it turns into like a wacky buddy cop comedy, and then it turns into wannabe gory grindhouse.
Yep.
And each one of these steps, and you can do that. You just have to integrate it well, and this wasn't integrated well.
Well, yeah, I do agree with that. I think that Jim Mickle as a director can do all of these styles well, those three that you were talking about. They just didn't completely mesh well.
In reading up on this film, I think that Mikkel was real clear that he wanted to blend genres and styles, and he stated that explicitly, and which is very characteristic of postmodern filmmaking. And, you know, I'd be curious to see what he does in a couple more films. But, you know, in the meantime, I'm just going to go watch A History of Violence or True Detective or A Simple Plan or, you know, all of these other films that do a much better job of this kind of storytelling.
With an inconsistent tone and a host of other problems, Cold in July just isn't worth the brain space. Skip it.
Okay, the film has several issues, but it also has flair, and it's got some great performances, so I'm gonna say see it.
Cold in July gets a hashtag A for effort, but it just left me in a deep freeze. I say skip it.
So our votes add up to 1 ticket, which is a stream it for Cold in July. Cheers!
Cheers!
Cheers.
There are no black people in this movie.
There was a black person. There was a black woman who said, "Sign this paper." And that was it.